children. Hope you all are doing good. So let us switch on to the concept. In the previous concept we started about the classification and we discussed about three classifications, that are Protista, Monera and fungi. So coming to the next classification, already we have an idea of a classification, dividing or the grouping the organisms basing on their similarities and dissimilarities. So that is a classification. So in five kingdom classification, Monera, Protista, fungi we discussed. The still remaining is Plantae and Animalia. So wherever we go out, whenever we see out, we used to find more amount of plants. That means they are more in number, huge number of plants we used to find. Let us see what is the classification of plants. See here, plant classification. Non-flowering plants and the flowering. So plants, basically we used to find the plant basing on the flowers, no? So basing on the flower character, they divided into flowering plants and non-flowering plants. So the non-flowering plants are called as gymnosperms and flowering plants called as angiosperms. Sorry, non-flowering plants are called as cryptogams and flowering plants are called as phanerogams. Again, the phanerogams divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms basing on exposure of the seed. The seed is naked, they are the gymnosperms, and the seed is enclosed in the fruit, they are called as angiosperms. So the seed consists of two cotyledons. Cotyledons are nothing but they are food storage to the seed. So if the one cotyledon is there, they are called monocots. Two cotyledon is there, they are dicots. And coming to the non-flowering plants, basing on the no root system and with a root system. So they are bryophytes and pteridophytes. Let us see each and every phylum. Let us see the general characters of kingdom Plantae. They are the eukaryotes, well-defined nucleus. They are autotrophic and photosynthetic. As they are photosynthetic, they are autotrophic. They prepare their food by themselves. They contain chlorophyll and large vacuoles, cellulose in the cell wall, and most multicellular. They have a sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. The first category of non-flowering plants, they are the thallophytes. Thallus means the outer layer or upper skinny layer we call as a thallus. So they are usually found in the moist or wet places. So this is due to the absence of true roots and vascular tissue, as they are not having a vascular tissue, xylem and phloem, and also no roots. They will be mostly found in the water. You need to transport the water and minerals. They are autotrophic. They can prepare, because they have a chlorophyll, they can prepare their food substances. Most members in this group manufacture in their own food. So as most they prepare photosynthesis, reserve the food in the generally in the starch form. So examples of the thallophytes. So green algae, they are Eulothrix, Cladophora, Spirogyra, Ulva and Chara. These are some of the green algae. Coming to the red algae, Batra, Polysiphonia, these are the examples for red algae. Brown algae, Laminaria, Fucus, Sargassum. These are the some of the examples of the thallophyte. Next type of non-flowering plants, bryophytes. So these bryophytes, their life cycle are dominated by the gametophyte stage. That means seed formation stage, some formation of a spores. There is a sporophytes are unbranched. As we see in the fungus, they produce the spores and develop reproduction. These thallophytes also produce the spores. So, and also they are unbranched. See, you can see here single plant like structures. They do not have a true vascular tissue. No true vascular, that means xylem and phloem are not true structures containing a lignin, although some have a specialized tissues for the transport of water. Here you can see some of the examples of bryophytes. Common liverworts, Polytrichum and Pinocushion, Pleurozoon and mountain fern, silver birum. So you may not know these names, but you may see many where this kind of light which are seems like a flowers, they are not truly flowers, which seems like a leaves but they are not truly leaves. So they, because they are non-flowering plants, the exposure in the form of a flower-like structures. Okay children, so these are the some of the examples of the bryophyte. So next non-flowering type of plants are pteridophytes. Characters are Pteridophytes are the first true landed plants. That means minor plants. They are seedless, vascular cryptogams. So vascular cryptogams means that they are having a vascular bundle, xylem and phloem. They show true alternation of generation. That means they can regenerate. Sporophytes has a true root system and they have a leaves. Generally up to bryophytes there is no complete division, proper division of root system and shoot system and leaves. But here we can see in pteridophytes, we can P silent, pteridophytes, we can see the leaf system, root system. Spores develop in sporangia and a homosporous. So they are a homosporous or the heterosporous. Two types of spores will be present. Sporangia are produced in the groups in the sporophylls. Here you can see some different types of fern plants, children. These are belongs to the pteridophytes. In fern plants you can see the base of the leaf you can find round structures. They are called as spores. When they fall down, they burst out, they grows into a new plant. As these are non-flowering plants, they doesn't have a seed. So the spores acts like a seeds. When they fall on the land, through the spores they will grow into a new plant. So let us see, in thallophytes we find algae. Algae is example for the thallophyte, non-flowering plant. And coming to the fungi, let us see some differences. The algae is the term originated from the Latin word which means the seaweed. Fungi originated from the Latin word which means mushroom. So algae belongs to the kingdom Protista and fungi separately it is having a fungi. So algae are autotrophic as they are having a chlorophyll, they can prepare. These fungi are heterotrophic. They are the saprophyte. They depend on others for the sake of the food. Strictly exist in the biodiverse bodies of the water or any environment with moisture content. And even fungus also everywhere, including a desert and frigid regions environment we can find. Are not parasitic. Algae are not parasitic. What is the meaning of parasite? Which live in the host and cause the disease is called as a parasite. Some mushrooms are the parasites. Fungus are the parasite. Even same way we can see some differences between bryophytes and pteridophytes. The plant body is not differentiated root to shoot and leaves. Here bryophytes pteridophytes we can find a root system, shoot and leaves. So mainly the body is gametophytic in the bryophytes. In the pteridophytes it is a sporophytic. They lack the true vascular system in the bryophytes. Here we can find a vascular system. That means xylem and phloem transporting water and food. And examples of bryophyta, Rixia and Funaria. Funaria is a type of a moss. Pteridophyta, Dryptopharis and Lycopodium. These are some of the pteridophytes example. As we completed the cryptogams, non-flowering plants, now let us see phanerogams. Phanerogams are divided into two types. They are the gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms, the seed is exposed, external. Here you can see the seeds will be external, and there are some of the characters in the gymnosperms. They do not have any outer covering or a shell around the seeds. That means they are the exposed. So they do not produce any flowers. They do not produce the fruit. They are pollinated by the wind. So here you can see some examples of the gymnosperms. That is, see how it is nice. Lot of fruits. Like a fruits. So we will see mostly coniferous plants, no? Like conifer plants, cycas, pinus. These are some of the examples of the gymnosperms. So the next flowering type of plants are angiosperms. Let us see some characters of the angiosperms. All angiosperms has a flowers at some stage in their life. Angiosperms have a small pollen grains that spread genetic information from flower to flower. All angiosperms have stamens, that means male gametes. Angiosperms have a much smaller female reproductive parts than non-flowering plants, allowing them to produce the seed more quickly. These are some of the characteristics of the angiosperm. So all flowering plants comes under the angiosperms. You can see here different varieties of flowers. All the flowering plants, they comes under the angiosperms. Here you can see some differences and some comparisons between angiosperms and gymnosperms. Coming to angiosperms, they are the flowering plants, gymnosperms non-flowering plants. In angiosperms, enclosed seeds are there. In gymnosperms, exposed or naked seeds. Process ovaries which flowers, possess the ovaries and which flowers in that can be unisexual or bisexual. Here possess a cones, scales or the specialized leaves. Generally they are unisexual. So angiosperms can be found in almost on the land habitats. And gymnosperms, softwood trees, shrubs like June pine, cycas, conifers. These all are comes under the gymnosperm. But coming to the comparison, three qualities are comparative. Both they bear the seeds. Both are belongs to kingdom Plantae. Both have vascular system, xylem and phloem, which helps to transport the water and food to all parts of the plant body. As I said, in the classification of plants, the angiosperms are divided into dicots and the monocots. Here you can see characteristics of dicots. What is a cotyledon? I said here you can see seed coats, children, cotyledons. When you break the seed, you can find a little bit of material which is present in the seed. So if the two cotyledons are present in the seed, that is called as a cotyledon. If you see, this is the seed coat, these are embryonic leaves, this is embryonic root, and these two are called as cotyledons. So this is the structure. So it is having two seed levels. Leaves have a veins in the network. We can find these cotyledons in the trees, sunflower, rose, etc. Let us see here some comparisons between the monocots and the dicots. Coming to the seed, monocots have a single cotyledon, dicots have two cotyledons. So like this, single. This is a maize, mokkojonna, and this is a bean. Coming to the leaves, parallel venation, that is called as a reticulate venation. Flowers, there are three petals we can find, 3 or 4 which are. Here also we can see floral parts in the same manner, 4 or 5 petals we can see. The stem vascular bundles scattered. See, these all are called as a vascular bundles, they are in a scattered manner. These are the vascular bundles, xylem and phloem. See, they are arranged in the ring forms. Root system is a fibrous root. When you pluck the grass, you can find a grass of roots of a grouped roots. No, taproot system is, we can find here main root system and root hairs, rootlets we used to find. This is called taproot system. So we can find different qualities: 2 cotyledons and 1 cotyledon, reticulate venation and parallel venation. Different types: 3 petals of flowers and 5 petals of flowers. Vascular bundles are the scattered, and vascular bundles in the row, circular manner, fibrous root system. By finding these all characters, we can find whether the plant is monocot plant or a dicot plant. So let us have one discussion about a 5 kingdom classification. Cell type: in Monera prokaryotes, in Protista eukaryote, fungus eukaryotic, Plantae eukaryotic, Animalia eukaryotic. Coming to the cell wall, in Monera non-cellular, Protista present in the some cell wall, some for some there is no cell wall. In fungi, without cellulose there is a presence of the cell wall. In a Plantae, cellulose is present in the cell wall. In animal, at all we doesn't find any cell wall. So coming to the nuclear membrane, Monera absent, and Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia we find the nuclear membrane. Body organization, it is made by the cell. Protista unicellular, Protista, Monera both are unicellular. Fungi, Plantae and Animalia we can find multicellular. As they are multicellular, they are having tissues and organ systems. So coming to the mode of nutrition, in Monera autotrophic nutrition, photosynthesis we can see, heterotrophic nutrition, paraphytes we can see. And coming to the Protista, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. In fungi we can see heterotrophic and saprophytic nutrition and parasitic nutrition also. Coming to the Plantae, autotrophic nutrition, and Animalia, heterotrophic or a holozoic nutrition. These are the some of the common characters which are present in the 5 kingdom classification. So children, up to now we discussed the Plantae, kingdom Plantae, different characters, non-flowering plants and flowering plants consisting of different qualities. So you come to know that some of idea which type of plant is that. That means main mainly we can divide the plants monocots and dicots. No? By seeing we can say that it is a flowering plant or not. Many garden plants, ornamental plants, they are non-flowering plants. So the flowers which you find around your house, you collect some plants, children, uproot the plants and find out by basing on the root system and the leaves. Monocots having a parallel venation, dicots having a reticulate venation, and monocots are having a hair-like structures of a root, that is a fibrous root, like a fiber, and the dicot have a reticulate venation and it is having a taproot system. Based on these characters, divide and make the list. How many number of plants monocots, how many number of plants are dicots in your surroundings, you locate it, make a list, children. Hope you could able to do that and you will get one idea that different types of plants. Okay, we'll see in the next session.